Garcia, 3 wins, 4 retirements. Mr. Unpredictable made his debut here in 2017 with 7th position. He's shown significant progress in his 19 starts since, but with more race finishes, he could have challenged for the title in 2018. He's only got an outside shot now, the 15-year-old, in the remaining 2 weekends. Row number 1 then, Fernandez, Alcoba and Garcia.
Yeah, like you said, Garcia, Mr. Unpredictable. What a nickname to earn by the tender age of 15. But, yeah, he has had some serious pace when he's been on it, and then really has suffered some DNFs and then obviously a bit of injury mid-season. But, yeah, it's been good pace for him when he's had it, and then some bad luck when he hasn't. So probably deserved to be a little bit higher up. Whereas the likes of Chan On-Chu, as you can see, full board of finishes there. So that's always a positive, but a few less positive than others. But definitely the young Turk and his brother as well, obviously twin brother Dennis, also racing in this championship. But Chan's won the Red Bull Rookies this season, and then now seems to be making some good progress here. And some good pace, some good fights back through the field, and today a really good qualifying position as well. So it should be interesting to see what he can do if he can stay up there.
Second row of the grid then, Chan On-Chu, Apiwat Wongtananon, who you see here, and Aleix Vieux. Wongtananon back from a wild card in his home Grand Prix last weekend, finished 16th. Best qualifying of the season for him. First top 10 start in 2018, 8th here last season. The 24-year-old is well placed to improve on that here. Yeah,
definitely. He was a bit of a rock star, was one.
It's clear with 2 races remaining, but with a pole position start with Pagliani down in 10th, a real opportunity here for Raul Fernandez.
I think it's all eyes on the prize for Fernandez now. You can see him fairly revved up there off the line, and that Estrella Galicia army alongside him. So let's see, the lights haven't been coming on for very long earlier, so this will be an interesting one.
Quick start then is what Raul Fernandez has in mind from pole, and another quick launch, a slow start from Sergio Garcia. He's made a poor start there. Raul Fernandez has got away well. Jeremy Alcoba tucked onto the tail of him, looking to make his way through. Ayagura with a clean run around the outside line. Ayagura all the way up to 4th position. What a wonderful start from him from the 3rd row on the grid. Ayagura fighting his way through. We've got an Asian Talent Team riders group battling over positions, a few back, but they're allowing the top 3 to break away slightly as they go side by side and 3 abreast.
Absolute squad goals off the line there. These guys making up an entire row pretty much, 3 abreast there. But like you said, need to be a little bit careful not to squabble too much and let those front trio get away, because they all make good starts, and already there's quite a bit of daylight there between them and this second huge chasing pack.
What about Pagliani? Where is he? The number 96 still back in traffic. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th position. So Manuel Pagliani has made no ground on this opening lap so far. Meanwhile, his championship leading rival is starting to break away out in front. Raul Fernandez getting things absolutely spot on this opening lap with Jeremy Alcoba behind him. Sergio Garcia got off to a very slow start, started P3. He's certainly dropped 3 positions, but he gets down the inside now and recovers a place from Ayagura. Agura tries to come all the way around the outside, but it's a hairpin, and the inside is key for Sergio Garcia. So he is now back up to 6th position.
Yeah, it's a little bit optimistic there from Agura. I think he probably lost out more from trying to do that than maybe just settling in behind and taking the hit and then fighting back. Lost another position there. Now he's right in front of Pagliani. So, yeah, a little bit of a tougher opening few corners for Agura, but the other 2 Asia Talent Team bikes well in there, aren't they, and really making some good progress.
It's not working well at the moment for Manuel Pagliani, who would have hoped to have made up a few positions off the line to at least get him a little bit closer to Raul Fernandez, but we could have a champion here in Moto3 as they almost go side by side for 2nd position now. Alcoba holds on. Wongtananon side of the top 10, so would be good to catch a glimpse of those in a couple of moments, but for the moment, 2nd and 3rd position. The riders directly behind him pass him because performance
scene and then past these guys. So I imagine that's going to have a few fireworks left in it over the last few laps of this race. Wouldn't be surprised, given how they've been locked together throughout this distance so far, to see that go down to the last lap or even the last couple of corners, because Wongtananon could have made that move already and he hasn't, so he obviously thinks he's not got that much more pace maybe than the Japanese rider.
Raul Fernandez is doing what he needs to do in the context of the championship, but now the main action we need is Manuel Pagliani, and whether he can hold his position. It's somewhat ironic think that the rider who leads the championship is not the one who can win it here, because although he could be the rider who lifts the title and lifts the trophy, it's what happens to Manuel Pagliani down in 6th position that will dictate whether we have a series winner before we go to Valencia. At the moment, Pagliani is where he needs to be to keep his title hopes alive, although I'm sure he'd rather be further forward than he is. We've seen Alcoba's gradually drop backwards out of shot while we were watching fights further up the field. Alcoba's dropped all the way down to 10th position. Remember, Sergio Garcia, his teammate, has dropped it altogether, so Pagliani did make up that one position that I suggested he might, but he has still got Barry Baltus, Somkhat Chantra showing on the timesheets being directly up behind them as well. Not sure where he's come from, because if you remember, right towards the start of the race, he was outside the top 20 altogether.
Yeah, obviously a bit of adventure out there to be had today for Chantra. Not sure exactly what's gone on, but he was there and then he'd gone and now he's back, so...
could be transponder, but I don't remember having seen him in the lead groups at any point during this race.
Me neither.
He has done very well, and he's actually just made another pass as well. So will Pagliani be under threat now of Somkhat Chantra as we consider the battle for 6th position here? Manuel Pagliani, Somkhat Chantra and Ayagura. What we're seeing on track at the moment is 2nd, 3rd and 4th positions gradually spreading out. It's looking to me as though these podium places are decided, but what about Manuel Pagliani and that championship fight?
Yeah, I think Cooney's got to be a little bit careful if he's not got the pace of Chanonchu. Don't get too tempted to get reeled in and try and chase him. But definitely he does now seem to have been able to pull away a little bit from Wong Tananon and maybe secure that P3 finish. That's a positive day at the office for Cooney, you know. So after a maiden win, another podium is a job very much well done. But Chanonchu looks like still got the edge on these guys, but that gap to the lead has not come down really significantly. So I think it's still Fernandez's to lose.
Somkhat Chantra was just a 1/10 of a second behind Manuel Pagliani last time over the line. I wonder if he's already made that move for P6 or if he'll do it during the course of this lap, because if he's been coming through the field that quickly, Pagliani will not be able to stand in his way. And he was 3 or 4/10 of a second faster than Pagliani on that previous lap as well. So really interesting to see the fight for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th in the context of the championship overall, with Pagliani needing the right result. Trying to look out of our commentary box window to see if we can pick up the rider who's involved in that championship fight as they come off the final turn to complete another lap. Then Pagliani has indeed dropped a position, so Pagliani goes down into 8th position, and things are getting very, very tasty now in the context of the championship. Fernandez is gone, don't worry about him, but what about Pagliani in 8th position?
49 points would be the gap if this is how it ends, and obviously there is still an entire lap of drama remaining for the Italian. Fernandez quite a long way ahead, so when he crosses the line, the story will nevertheless not be finished for Pagliani in this race, and it's still a very tight group there, so anything can happen on this final lap.
It will be decisive though for Yuki Cooney, who is in 3rd position in this race, which will not be enough to keep open his championship hopes. We will be down to the 2-rider fight that I predicted right at the start of this race in the intro. It's Raul Fernandez who leads. He's going to bank the 25. It'll move him on to 180 points. Manuel Pagliani down in 8th position. Cannot afford to be passed by another rider, but he's less than half a second ahead of Barry Baltus. Can he hold on for long enough to keep his championship hopes alive? Baltus and Alcoba directly behind him. Alcoba slipping away slightly. I think we're going to Valencia, but it remains to be seen which order they cross the line in. Raul Fernandez has kept everything under control. The lead KTM rider in the championship, the only KTM rider in the top 8 in the championship standings at the moment, and it is going to be Raul Fernandez who will take his first race victory since Aragon after difficulties and disappointments in Jerez. 1 podium finish in 2 races. He led by 32 points. He's going to lead by a near championship winning margin. Raul Fernandez wins in Albacete. Second over the line is Canon Chu. Where is Manuel Pagliani? We wait to see him cross the line. It's going to be very close as to whether he holds on to position. We're seeing the celebrations of Raul Fernandez. Will it be championship celebrations as well? No, it won't. Manuel Pagliani remains in 8th position over the line. I think the fact that we couldn't see him in our shot